You've probably heard of the FIRE movement, which stands for Financial Independence, Retire Early. It's often promoted as the ultimate life hack. After all, who wouldn't want to reach the point where work is optional? In my last video, I covered 7 unique types of FIRE to help you find the version that best fits your lifestyle and goals, to start your journey to financial independence sooner. But what if I told you the FIRE movement has some serious flaws that many don't discover until it's too late? While it promises freedom, it doesn't always deliver peace of mind. Many people spend years chasing early retirement only to realize that financial freedom doesn't automatically lead to fulfillment, and that sacrificing too much along the way can leave you feeling burnout or even lost. In this video, I'm going to walk you through 6 major blind spots, overlooked risks, and downsides that often get overlooked in the FIRE conversation. And if you're planning to retire at a more traditional age, there's plenty in here for you too. These insights are valuable for anybody thinking about financial independence, life beyond work, or making the transition into retirement. One of the biggest challenges to early retirement is health insurance. If you retire before becoming eligible for Medicare at age 65, you're essentially on your own. Even if you stay fit and expect to remain healthy, one unexpected hospital visit could be financially devastating without adequate coverage. In fact, medical debt is the leading cause of bankruptcy in the United States. If your budget doesn't account for realistic healthcare costs, including rising premiums, deductibles, and out-of-pocket expenses, you could face a serious financial setback. According to the U.S. Census Bureau data, employer-sponsored insurance still remains the primary source of health coverage in the United States, covering about 178 million people, including 63% of working-age adults 19 to 64. That's why it's critical to have a plan for health insurance, not just for yourself, but also for any spouse or dependents who rely on you. Another often overlooked aspect of early retirement, or really retirement at any age, is the psychological impact. Work for many people provides more than just a paycheck. For some, it brings structure, daily social interaction, and a sense of purpose or identity. When you focus too heavily on financial independence as the goal, after you reach your number, you end up wondering, what now? The pursuit gives you something concrete to focus on. Money becomes a measuring stick. It's tangible. It's trackable. You don't want to become so focused on the numbers that you forget to ask the deeper questions, like, how are you going to define success and fulfillment without the goal you've been so focused on for so many years? Financial independence doesn't answer life's biggest questions, and that's why you can't treat it as the finish line. Money is just a tool. It gives you the freedom to build the life you want. It doesn't tell you what that life should be. So here's the question to ask yourself now. What are you working towards beyond just financial freedom? Don't wait until you retire to figure out what truly matters to you. Invest in your passions, your relationships, and your personal growth along the way. Put thought into who you want to be and what you want to do with your time, energy, and resources once you hit your financial independence number. This brings us to a common challenge many diligent savers face once they reach financial independence. After years in the accumulation phase and living below their means so they could save and invest, watching their net worth grow provided such a sense of progress and security. But once retirement begins, the focus shifts to spending, and with that, a different kind of uncertainty, especially over a long retirement. One major concern is the sequence of returns risk, a concept that every new retiree should understand. If you're unfamiliar with it, I've created a separate video for that, and I'll have it linked in the description below. For many, the real problem lies in breaking the long-standing habit of accumulation. After decades of saving, spending down your portfolio can feel really uncomfortable or even irresponsible. It's not uncommon for retirees to have more than enough money, yet still struggle to enjoy the experiences they've dreamed of. That's why understanding safe withdrawal rates is so essential. The f.i.r.e. movement often points to the 4% rule, though it's frequently misunderstood. Originally developed by Bill Bengen, the rule states that withdrawing 4% in the first year of retirement, then adjusting for inflation each year. That would preserve your wealth even during the worst 30-year period ever on record. Now, some question whether the 4% rule is too aggressive for early retirees, but more recent research offers some important context. Michael Kitces, for example, analyzed all historical 30-year periods dating back to 1871 and found that the median safe withdrawal rate to be closer to 6.5% with a 60-40 portfolio. In fact, using the 4% rule, retirees ended up with more money than they even started out with over 90% of the time, and more than double their initial balance about 2/3 of the time. In fact, the median ending wealth was nearly 2.8 times the original principal. Bengen himself has now updated his research to include more asset classes. He now estimates the worst case safe withdrawal rate to be 4.7%, and says that most retirees would still end up with more money than they even started out with, and possibly regrets for not spending more earlier. In today's market environment and current stock market valuations, he recently suggested that a reasonable starting withdrawal rate could be between 5.25% and 5.5%. For extremely long retirements, such as a 50-year retirement plan, he recommends about 4.1%. So the bottom line, with updated research and historical context, the f.i.r.e. community's use of the 4% rule appears very conservative, even for those planning longer retirements. I'd really appreciate it if you would take a moment to hit the like button and leave some comments or questions below. It truly helps the algorithm and supports the channel, and I do my best to respond to all the comments, so thank you. Okay, another important thing to consider is that if you choose a version of f.i.r.e. where you completely step away from work, well beyond the traditional retirement age, your Social Security benefits will likely be much smaller. That's because Social Security is calculated based on your highest 35 years of earnings. So, for example, if somebody starts earning a decent income at, let's say, age 25 and retires at 50, they only have 25 years of earnings, which means 10 years of zero income get factored into the calculation. That lowers the average and reduces the benefit amount. And keep in mind, if you decide to start collecting Social Security at age 62, your monthly check will be about 30% lower than if you waited until the age of 67. That means you'll need your portfolio to do more of the heavy lifting throughout retirement. Another often overlooked consideration with the f.i.r.e. movement is taxes, especially when it comes to accessing retirement accounts early. Most traditional accounts like 401ks and IRAs are designed for withdrawals after the age of 59 and a half. If you pull money out before then, you could face a 10% penalty plus the regular income taxes, unless you qualify for specific exemptions. Now, that's why it's so important to have money in more flexible accounts. If you haven't built up enough in taxable personal brokerage accounts or your Roth IRA contributions, which you can take out anytime penalty-free and tax-free, Funding an early retirement could come with some unpleasant tax surprises and penalties. And even if you figure out a safe withdrawal rate, don't forget that number doesn't account for taxes or any of your advisor's fee. For example, if you're following the 4% rule, but you're paying a 1% asset under management fee to some financial advisor, you're really only keeping 3%. And if you're withdrawing from a taxable account, you might still owe taxes, further shrinking the real take-home amount. All of this highlights how important tax literacy is, not just for retirement itself, but how you prepare for it. The types of accounts you choose to fund for retirement really does matter. A personal brokerage account, for instance, is often overlooked in retirement planning, but it can be incredibly beneficial. In many cases, you can sell assets in retirement and pay little to no capital gains taxes, depending on your income level, of course. I actually have a video that covers these tax strategies and another one that covers the optimal order to invest across different account types. I'll have those linked in the description below also. Now, if you're a regular viewer of this channel, you know I talk a lot about the benefits of financial freedom because it truly gives you something most people are hoping for, which is control over their own time and their own life. But when you combine that goal with some of the more extreme versions of f.i.r.e, that can start to feel like you're trading all of your happiness today for some kind of promised reward down the line. It's kind of human nature to delay happiness. We tell ourselves, I'll be happy when I lose 10 pounds, or when I meet the right person, or when I finally make 6 figures. In the f.i.r.e space, this can show up as a belief that every dollar spent today on joy is a dollar stolen from your future freedom. And while it's important to be intentional with your spending, you also have to be honest with yourself. There's no need to put your entire life on hold. Our culture definitely needs to break up with the buy now, pay later mindset that leads to financial stress. And in many ways, that's what the f.i.r.e movement is pushing back against. But at the other extreme, delay all joys now so you can maybe be happy later isn't the answer either. The truth is, you're going to grow and evolve as a person. You may be totally fine living frugally in your 20s and 30s, but your priorities and expectations may shift as you get older. Life has a way of teaching you that time is short, and every day really is a gift. You start to realize that life isn't about being just rich or popular or perfect. It's about being real, kind, and surrounding yourself with people who matter. So yes, financial freedom is a powerful goal, and one worth striving for. But don't lose sight of the bigger picture. As long as you have your health, you can always make more money, but you can't get back time. You don't want to look back and feel like you've sacrificed too much along the way. f.i.r.e shouldn't only be about suffering now so that you can live later. It's about living intentionally today so that you can be free tomorrow. That's why for many people, options like Coast f.i.r.e or Barista f.i.r.e offer a gentler, more balanced approach. Because balance doesn't mean giving up what you love, it means building a life that you don't have to escape from. So it's not about extreme frugality or reckless spending. It's about optimizing for both joy and security. Spending money isn't always the enemy. Mindless spending is. I hope this video gave you a few things to think about that might help you on your journey. Thank you for watching.